Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you are well today. I've been inspired by some of my favorite YouTubers. You know, as we do, that's why we watch YouTube, isn't it? To get inspired, to get ideas. And two people recently have done a project making collage strips, and Margaret from Plaza, as well as Gayle Agostinelli. They've both made these collage strips inspired by Tim Holtz and making their own versions, and I in turn have been inspired by them to give it a go. So I envisage mine will be a little bit different. I've got different supplies and a few little specifically different things that I plan on using. I have pre-cut my bases, so I have gone with 2.5 inches wide, and the height of my journal page, which typically is around 8.25 inches. So I've done the height 8.25 inches. If my journal page ends up smaller, I will just trim some off. So this is 12 by 12 cardstock, and I just chose a color that I thought I'm probably not going to use any other way. So I cut how many? 4 strips at 2.5 inches wide, and then the end was about 2.25, I think, just a little bit left over. So, oh no, not 2.25, it's like 2 1/8, something like that. Anyway, just over 2 inches for the smaller section. Then before I cut them to the 8.25 inch height, I did across the bottom, so I ended up with this strip at the bottom, which I just cut into 6-inch pieces, and they will be either journal card bases or tag bases. So that's the prep work that I've done for the bases. So these can be belly bands, they could be side tucks, yeah, or you could cut them down into smaller pieces and use them as like a cluster or a tag, what have you. Now, for what I'm using to decorate them with today, I have some illustrated dictionary page with a couple of bits I thought were interesting. I have some scrapbook paper, 6x6 and scrapbook paper scraps. Just randomly grabbed them out of a bag. I thought, yeah, I might be able to use those. I have here a stack of digital printouts that most of them are mine. There is one in here that's not. This one's not, and that one's not. Is that the same page? No, it's a different page. But this first bunch here, you'll see they're all quite pinkish. That one's not mine either. But these lot are all misprints where my cyan wasn't working. So I don't know if we'll use them, but I thought I'd grab them out because we might as well see. And then some of these others are my digitals, but they're just like spare copies I've got floating around, printed fine. They might have even been test copies, I can't remember. So we've got some digitals to play with. I have an old magazine here which I've been through and put some post-it tabs there. This is one I picked up recently for $1, and it's 1973, so too young to scan. So I'm just going to chop it up, and there's nothing like just going ahead and doing it rather than hoarding it. I'm going to try and use it. I also have labels, postage stamps, stamped words, found words, and then we might be grabbing for some other bits and pieces because I'm not totally prepared because I'm not sure which direction I want to go in. So both Margaret and Gayle used people in their collage strips. Now, I don't often include people, but I thought, well, shall we do a people one? Just to get the ball rolling, you know. And there's this really fun image down here. I don't know how well you can see it. It's a couple in their lounge room, their living room, with all their china cabinet and their collectibles and things. He's got his arm over her shoulder. I just thought it was really cute. So let's just take that out. I'm going to have to chop it down a bit to fit my strip, but I'm just going to begin. So I'm doing it, people. I'm getting into this magazine and using it because that's why I bought it. If it was old enough, I would definitely scan bits of it, but it's not. Right, so they're more over this side, so I'm going to trim down at the edge there. And then we're going to go 2.5, which is the width of my strips. So we'll get some of the china cabinet in there. Take the top off first, I think. So I hope you're having a great day, a great week even, because I've got to remember I'm recording this at near the beginning of the week. It's what's today? Tuesday, and this will air on Thursday. Right, so there's quite some cool numbers there. Maybe I'll just hold on to that for now. Oops, flying paper. And some cool text and bits that we can use. Right, so I'm going to put the smaller strip aside and we're just going to start with a regular strip. So we've got this lovely couple here. Do I want to go colorway with this? Oh, I like that. That's pretty, isn't it? Oh, I like that side too. Ooh, decisions. Well, let's just chop it off across that where it's a bit narrower. Start with that. I mean, what I might be able to do is that 2.5. Let's see how wide that is I can use the same bit of paper and use both sides. How's that for a bit of trickiness? Yes, we're going to be able to get this down to the right size. Here. Okay, so don't know which side we'll use of that piece yet. Let's chop this down. There's a little corner tear down there, so we'll go on the other side, creating lots of scraps here out of scraps. Oh, I do like that. Right, so let's just chop a piece off and then we'll see which side we prefer of which, if you know what I mean. And then we've got a piece here that we might be able to use on another one because it's already the right width. Oh, I think I like this one with more of that flower. I think it's like a cone flower. Is that what it's called? And then we could use the other side of that one. I don't know whether it's that I'm being led by this base colour that's dictating the colourway for this. That could be a challenge for me actually, to step away from what the background colour is, because it's going to be completely covered. So that could be an interesting journey. What do we want next? Let's see if there's anything in the digitals that might pair well. Not the pink ones, because this is definitely not a pink collage strip. Probably want a label of some description in there. Maybe part of this one might work. Oops, I've got a couple of pages there. Trim off the white. Has anybody else given this project a go? I think it's really, really fun, I think. Not that I've done it before, but just watching other people do it, it looks so much fun and customizable in so many ways. So I'm just going to cut a 2.5-inch strip off of this, and then we'll choose out a piece from that. I'm thinking, do I want the map at the top maybe? no, I don't want 2.5 inches, do I? I don't need 2.5 inches. Just need a random piece. So I need to try and not make them all the same size too. Need to vary the size. We can also add washi tape. Is that straight? It doesn't look straight. It's not. Well, don't know how I managed that. Let's try again. Let's try straighten it up. Something's not straight. Something's a little bit funky. Is it straight? It doesn't look straight to me. Hopefully that straightened it up. I didn't want to take it too far down, otherwise I'll cut the top of the flower off. I think that's better. Okay. Maybe we want to put something in between there and then something at the bottom. Have we got any words that would fit in there? It's got to be the right width is the thing. It's too wide. Process of elimination. We could, I like that. Let's use that. So lots of guillotine work going on here. I'm just going to take the time to put the lid on, because if I end up shoving it off the desk, it's going to make a bigger mess. Right. So I'm just going to make an arbitrary cut there. And I need to trim off that bottom so I can have it flat. And now we do our 2.5 inches across. I think that should be good. Or do I want to cut it down a little bit more? Let's just go with scissors. Hopefully that's straight. Okay, liking it so far. Oops, just fumbling around here. My fingers are quite cold this morning. So we need something in here. Do we have a label that's wide enough, perhaps? I'm sure we do. It's just finding the right one. I don't know if we want a poison label. It's the right width, but yeah, I don't think we want poison matched with our lovely couple there that look quite happy. Don't think these ones are going to be wide enough. No, they're too narrow. And I want something that's not too tall. A bit wide. We could cut it down. That's too narrow. Mind you, we could leave some of the backing exposed, since in this case it does actually match with the overall colours. No, none of those. Let's go back to the beginning. Oh, that one might work. Yep, let's go with that one. So this is from Shabby Cottage Studio, this label. So let's do some gluing, because it's going to drive me nuts if I just leave it loose. Another sip of my coffee. And I think some of these I will tacky glue and some I'm going to glue stick. So this is scrapbook paper. It's a little bit heavier, so I'm just going to go ahead and tacky glue it. The magazine paper I will probably glue stick because it's thin. And yeah, so I'll just swap and change around the glues according to what I'm feeling, what I actually reach for, whether I'm thinking about it or not, and what the consistency of the paper is that I'm gluing. Yes, that is my picture. I was looking at the numbers on the back going, is that my scrap that I put aside for the numbers? It's like, no, it's not. It's my picture. So we might do another one of people, but I want to do some other things that don't involve people. I know some people out there don't like people in journals, and I do actually get that. I understand that that's kind of a bit weird sometimes if you've got random people in your journals, but I think that's where vintage really is lovely, because those people are either really, really old now, or they're no longer with us on this earth. Of course, their families would still be around, assuming they had children and all that. I think it's easier to use vintage images or antique images than it is to use ones where, oh, now which way up does it go? Does it matter? Probably not. Yeah, I think it goes up this way. It's the danger of a little piece taken in isolation, is you lose perspective on which way up it actually goes. So there we go, we're going to do that. I think I'm going to switch down. This is coffee dyed paper, so I'm going to tacky glue this because it's just, the coffee dyeing process gives it a different texture and can make it a little sort of ripply, bumpy. So I prefer tacky glue for coffee dyed paper usually, and sometimes I think it doesn't take the glue stick as well. It's almost like it's got a coating or something on it once it's been coffee dyed. Please excuse me, my voice has gone a bit froggy. It's very annoying. I think it's just part of the winter, well, not that we're in winter quite yet, but part of the cold weather. Either that or somebody snuck in and put bones in my coffee. Come on, fess up. Who was it? And then this will overlap, which is fine. What width is it in between that black border? Whoops, use the right part of the ruler. Not quite wide enough, so we'll have to keep the whole border. No, I'm going to glue stick this on. So I think these are super fun. Now that I'm into it, now that I've sort of got my first one almost done, I'm like, yeah, this is a fun project. Give it a go if you haven't given it a go. Just going to try and center that. Whoops, and make it straight. Probably be good. Got a little trimming up to do. struggling with the stuff that's stuck to my scissors, getting in the way there. And of course I'm going to ink, so I won't ink them all on camera, but I will do this one just so you can see. And it's ready to go belly band, or it could be a side tuck. We could take a little thumb notch out to turn it into a side pocket, or however else you would like to use it. Could make it a nice tall tag, probably a little tall for my liking for a tag, so I'd probably trim off like some of this top bit or something. But you could also like cut it there and have two little bits, turn them into smaller tags. Just, I think, usable pieces to have around. The inking isn't showing up on some parts of this. If you prefer a more sepia image, you can just run your brush over that to make it more brown. You could also ink the individual pieces, and I might do that, probably not on camera. I have got just a little bit lifting here. Obviously I didn't get enough glue stick on that, but it's not going anywhere now. So we have done one. Didn't take all that long to bring together, I think. I love that. Okay, when Margaret did hers, she did them in colour themes. Gayle didn't so much, but I'm seeing this and loving the way the colours work. So I'm thinking, for me, doing colour themes on these is probably the way to go, because this makes my eye really happy. It just has a cohesiveness to it that I really like. I do like eclectic, but this is really speaking to me. So let's go ahead and grab something else out. I'm looking at this pile of scrapbook paper. That's brownish, neutralish, isn't it? Reddish. Do we want to do? That's been covered in like Mod Podge or something, so it's a little bit sticky. This is trimmed off a 12 by 12 paper. Really like this alphabet print on top of the background pattern. So maybe this is more of a green kind of feel one. So let's do 2.5 inches off this. Now I suspect that the bottom is not actually straight, so I'm going to, that this edge is not straight. So I was lining it up on this one, which is the top of the paper pad, and then we'll flip it around and straighten up that bottom edge. Yeah, it was off slightly. Okay, so that's going to, oh, we've already got a base there. It's gonna, I might change the order. I might lay them out and then play with the order. I don't know. So do we have a digital that might work with that? That one might. It's a bit greenish in the background there. Or that one. Let's see. Oh, I'm already in a complete and utter mess on my desk. Thinking this one actually. And take that white off. So these digitals that I'm using here for that first one and this one, they are my vintage floral kit available on Etsy. It's one of my first ones that I ever put up. The first one I ever made from scratch, and it's made using my own photographs, which was super fun, and then I complemented it with other bits and pieces that I either purchased or found in Creative Commons, although I didn't know much about Creative Commons back when I created this, so yeah, largely my own photographs. Now, do I want the bit with the books, or this one's, I think, going to have quite a vintage feel, at least so far. Let's go about there. Just take that wee snippet. It's got a book title there. It looks like it's in some sort of foreign language. Okay, magazine. So this time I don't want a person. I want to go with something that's a little bit different. So let's have a wee flick through of some of my tabbed bits and see what grabs us. Oh, there's some cute little like cartoon bits here. How wide are they? Oh, darn it, they're not wide enough. Okay, let's remove that flag because they're not going to work. I didn't measure them when I was going through this. I was like, yeah, that might fit. That's another person flag. I've got different colour post-it flags here, but there was actually no colour coding involved. Freezer packaging catalogue. No, that's not grabbing me. Oops. Width could be the problem. Well, how about we just take a section out of this ad that's done in like a comic strip sort of style ad. I think that will be okay. So I'm just gonna, no, that's not going to work very well. Have to cut. Doesn't mean anything in terms of my collage strip. It's just visually interesting is what I'm going for. So I think I'll get rid of this black bit at the top. It's quite domineering. Okay, and this is how wide. So I'm going to try there and then see where we get to for our 2.5 inches. Keep those scraps for now until I can work out whether I want to do anything with them. Interesting little snippet. Do I want to put it up there? Don't want to have the sort of graphic image always in the middle in my thinking. I want to put a bit of this. It's kind of not really the right green. Do have these bird cages. This little scrap of digital. Could go with a bit of that. Maybe a small piece. Which way do I want to cut it? No, the way. No. Trying to minimize wastage, so I'm thinking about which way I'm cutting it to make sure I oh darn it, my throat, silly. Minimize wastage is what I was saying by just thinking about which way I'm cutting it. Right, and I think just a wee strip of this, maybe 1 inch, sounds good. Oops, see, cutting on top and messing everything up. I could glue as I go, but then I don't have the option to change the order if I want to alter anything. Okay, that's good. How about a found word? Can we find something that's about the right width? The ultimate dram. Tuesday. No, too wide. This, I might have to give up on the found words. If I was doing this off camera, it wouldn't be a problem. I'd just fuss around to my heart's content. But, oh, actually I kind of like that. Okay. So it's not going to be its own layer. It's going to sit on top. And I am going to ink that because I think it's just too bright, too white. So dirty it up like so. And that can kind of sit over top of a couple of the layers. I do like that. That's a little bit different. Okay, postage stamps. I haven't used postage stamps yet. Well, we're only on our second one, so that's not surprising. I don't know if I've got any that are wide enough. Oh, but maybe I do. No, it's just under 2 inches. So we might have to use a couple of different things. Preferably the same height would be nice. Just grabbing out some options here. I'm looking for the colour as well. That's the same height. Can I get this one off the backing without tearing it? Just tear it off from that one. Gone silent, haven't I? Concentrating on peeling off the paper without damaging the stamp. Okay, I am going to put those on there and I'm going to leave the brown around them. Is what I'm going to do. Okay. So we still have a strip there. I'm happy so far, so I am going to go ahead and glue down because it's absolutely driving me bonkers with everything shifting. And I can't see how much true gap I've still got to fill with everything shifting. So work however makes you the happiest, whether you lay it all out or whether you glue as you go. There's pluses and minuses to each method. Oops, slide that up a bit right to the top. There we go. This glue stick Copydex adhesive, that's what the ad is for. It's for a glue. Oops. Have got a slight overlap there and I'm just kind of pressing it in. Right, then a colour snippet. Yep, glue stick for that as well. So I've been wanting to give this a go for a while after watching Gayle do these ages ago. And then I watched Margarethe do it, or was it last week? And thought, yeah, I really want to do those. And then Gayle made them again this week, and it was like, yeah, right, I need to do these. Like, stop saying you want to do it and just do it. So here I am, bringing you along for the ride. Now, do I want to put that next, or would I like to put the stamps in there first? Although that would then muck up this, wouldn't it? Let's see what it looks like. I mean, we still get or do I prefer it around this way? My measurement is way off. I think I prefer it that way. Okay. I'm going to do a bit of side trimming before I put the words on, because this is sticking out way over the side. I don't know what I did wrong with my measuring. It's only that most extraordinary talent to measure something and get it completely wrong. Like, look how far out that's sticking. Maybe the space isn't straight. Don't know. I suspect it's not, actually, looking at the gradual growth on the side of things sticking out. But however, you can always put some lace or something down it and hide any errors. I'm really curious now as to whether it's my base that's wildly off. So what is it here? Yeah, it's not 2.5 at the bottom, but it is 2.5 at the top. So it's my base that's not straight. Special talent, I tell you. Special talent. So it makes me wonder which of my other bases are not straight. Probably them all. Okay, now that I've trimmed that up, I can glue this on. Who else has got that special talent of measuring something, lining it up, and still getting it crooked? Oh, I do like those words. I think they're so fun. And where'd my stamp go? That caught on my sleeve. Oh no, where have you gone? It's flown away. It was a bird stamp and it's flown. I cannot find it for the life of me. Grr, you know what that means. It means we have to go back into our bin and look for another one. I should have more of that particular stamp, so let's just do a quick wee fossick and hope it was a kakapo, New Zealand bird. Quite a common stamp in its day, so I'm sure I must have more of them. Come on, please. Where are you hiding, Mr. Kakapo? Is that one? No, that one's too skinny. Oh, that's annoying. That stamp, I have no idea where it's gone. It just, the little perforations on the edge caught on my sleeve and it just danced away on the breeze. So frustrating, particularly now that I've got to take time hunting for another option. Now I am looking for other options as I'm going through. I'm not just looking for that particular stamp because I may not find it. Here's one in the same series, different bird, but it's the same series and that means it's the same height, so I'm going to go with it. But again, wanting to peel it off the paper. every now and then I'll do a session where I do take the backings off properly with using the boiling water. But oftentimes I actually like the paper attached. In the world of junk journaling, I just think it adds an extra layer, an extra bit of coolness. But sometimes I do want just the stamp. Right, and I don't mind if it leaves, you know, bits on the back, that's fine. I just don't want it poking out around the edge. There's a little bit of the backing still showing here. Move that. So I am going to use tacky glue for these. So I'll have to play hunt the stamp on the floor. It might have gone under the edge of my vibration board that's sitting under my desk. It's quite possible. Or it might be behind me, or I don't know, or stuck to the back of my trousers. Who knows? The bird has gone into hiding. Quite often New Zealand birds are shy, so obviously it was a bit shy. I was like, no, 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 I can't be in the spotlight. Okay, right, I'm okay with the brown peeking through on that. So we still need something down here. I'm just looking, this fun text here. So we need it to be, oh, that's going to be awkward, isn't it? I'm going to cut 1/2 inch and I'm going to go 2.5 inches, even though it's not 2.5 inches at that point, and we'll do a little trimming of the side and the bottom. Just making a little cut there, and oops, wrong way round. Let's go less than, oh, that's not even straight at the top there. Let's straighten that up first. It seems like a good idea. And then how am I going to do this? Just going to have to cut the whole strip, I think. Just bear with me while I dither around like crazy. Just all sorts of dithering going on here. Right, so we have a random strip there. That's okay. That's where we straightened it up. I was sent these bits of scrapbook paper in Happy Mail years ago, and I was just doing some editing in my little home office, doing video editing this morning, and on my way out the door to come back through into the lounge, I noticed them sitting on the little coffee table just beside the door, and it was like, so I grabbed a handful. It's like, I can use some of those in my video. Right. So a little bit of overhang there, as I knew there would be. Now, if I'm really bothered by how crooked this is, I can always come in and run it through the guillotine and straighten it up. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like I could just trim it down. Or shall I? Shall I? Shall I just straighten it up? Why not? Let's just do that. Oh gosh, that looks like both sides aren't straight. Something funky going on here, guys. Real funky. Okay, I'm going to do it. Oh, it's very thick right there. goodness, that was tough to get through. That was scrapbook paper and other paper all layered up together. Hopefully that didn't damage my guillotine. I'm sure it will be fine. It was just a lot harder to push through. Okay, so we've straightened it up. It is slightly narrower than 2.5 inches. And I will ink around it and call it good. Okay, let's do another one. How are we going on time? Oh, we might have time to do one more. Let's see. What sort of colour do we want to go with this time? Do we want to try a pink one? Because I do have those pages that printed out all pinkish. Where did I put them? So like, I'm looking at these wee journal cards that printed all pink. There's a little bunny stamp, faux stamp on this one. Let's try something like that. I'm just going to do this for now. I think I want that wee bunny stamp included. So 2.5 inches, lining up on this edge instead of the top or bottom, because the top and bottom are not straight. Let's do the bottom first. Okay, those bits can go in the rubbish. And let's do about 1.5 inches tall for this piece. Okay, so we're going pink. What else have I got pink? Have I got anything in this stack? I don't think I do. No, nothing in that stack is pink. Okay, images. Do we want to do one of these book page images? How about these flower diagrams? I think they're quite cool. Do all my trimming. And 2.5. Go there. And just one row of those, I think. About there. Oh, come on, pick it up. Okay. Okay, what else can we add? I'm thinking some sort of pink label. What have we got that's pink? They're not really pink, those ones. Might not have anything pink. And this, I think, will be too narrow. Let's measure it rather than fuss around with trying to get it out. Here it's too narrow. Excuse me, I wish my voice would behave itself. Is there anything else in this digital that we could use? Or in this other digital that's not mine? Let's have a look at that. Cute little kids. It's more sort of purple, but I think it will work. Oh, what about this beautiful flower down here? Okay, let's try that. Oops, just chopped the teapot spout off. Could have thought about that a bit more, but never mind. It's just a printable. When I say just a printable, you know, I can't, what I'm meaning is I can reprint it if I want to use the teapot for anything. These digitals that I'm using, these ones that aren't mine, I don't think they're available anymore. I think they are an expired digital, so I won't bother linking them. They are from Antique Papery though, back in the day when they were doing this style. I feel like we need something in between there. My cup of tea, or cup of coffee rather, is dead cold now. Yep, that confirms it. It is dead cold. I will still drink it. Right, let's see if we can find something. Have I got anything pink? Probably not. Too narrow. Quite like that. And I don't mind that it's not pink. Don't want it all too same, do we? Oops, I don't need all of it. It's 2.5, about there. So this will be the last one we do on camera, which is not too bad. I'd cut 4 bases and we're going to use 3, so that's okay. Now that's 2 bits of paper the same, so I think we need something in between. What else have I got that we might be able to use? Looking around me, sort of a bit lost for inspiration. Do we have any pink stamps? Maybe a couple of red ones. Not quite right. Here's the sweet pink rose one. Can we find anything similar? Similar height. That's the same series, but it's red. I don't want red. Do we want to use 3 of the same stamp? This is another very common stamp back in its day. Back before I was into stamp collecting as a child. This one. Oh, this one's not going to tear off very well, so we might just have to cut it down right to the edge of its little perforated edge. Otherwise I'll drive you all crazy trying to peel it off. And myself included in that. Drive myself crazy. Right, I think I might just do the same thing with these, even though these ones aren't as glued down. And it has got a blue background around this. Oh, I wish it cost 7 cents to send a letter these days. Then we'd all be doing more posting, wouldn't we? Instead of the crazy prices that we've got now. Right, can we fit all 3? Oops, extra layer there. I think I'll try my best to center the middle one and then chop off both sides. So let's go ahead and glue down the top one so that I can then fiddle with my stamps. in the best possible way. Right, get to gluing, because I'm conscious of we are running out of time. And hopefully the space is straight. Right, I'm going to fold over my blue page. It's getting a bit sticky. Wonder if I've got any handmade labels that would be the right colour. Right, now the tricky part of getting this kind of in the middle. Don't matter if it's a little bit off, but I just want to kind of do the best I can. Okay, so we've still got some more space on this one to fill. I just want to get these down. Once again, just to help me not be driven crazy by things shifting, and knowing also so I know exactly what space I've got left to fill. Right, trim off those edges. Poor little edges of stamps. Oh, I like that though. I think that looks pretty. So then we can put our dreams down there. Glue stick, I think, will be fine. Oops, don't know how I managed to get that bit of glue on the front. Just take it off. Then this bit. Right, you can go in the bin because you are so sticky. I'm just going to overlap that a little bit because that the word has a rough torn edge on it, which is fine, but not what I'm wanting for this particular project. Torn edges would be another fun thing to do though, I think. Right, so we've still got, and this one looks like it's, I'm going to measure, looks like it's wider at this bit than it is at the bottom. So here it's 2.5, and here it is a smidge, just a smidge over 2.5. So I might trim that down later. Right, do we have any handmade labels? I don't think I've really got anything wide enough. Wrong colour, but I just want to check the width. Yeah, no, none of those are going to work with me. Obviously I can't even talk now. They're not going to work for me. Do have some number labels that are a wee bit longer, these ones. Totally the wrong colour, but we could put something behind it. If I could, the one in pink. Do I have, oh, here's one. I don't mind the blue with it. Looking at washi tape, we haven't used washi tape. We could put some layers of washi tape across it as the background for the number. Let's do that. Oops, How about we go straight, dear? Straight's a very fine thing. So we'll need at least a couple of strips. How's that? Oh, I like that. So little hand stamped numbers. On top of washi tape. Fun. And I think I'm just going to wrap this around. If it lifts, I can come in with some glue and just glue it down, or I can trim it off. But for now, I'm just going to do that. Okay, that's that. So we still have this bottom section. What would we like to use? What have I got to hand that I can use? A bit of book page. It's not something we've used yet. So it's all music. These bits are quite cool. Let's do that. So trim it off to about there. And do 2.5 inches. Might do slightly over 2.5 inches because it has widened at the bottom slightly. And I really like these little diagrammy bits here. So if I go underneath those, and just about the bottom line of the next line of music up, I think should be about right. I hope. Yeah, cute. That will work. I'm certainly nowhere near as capable of producing the volume that both Gayle and Margaret do in a video. Like, those ladies are just remarkable. Amazing. And very inspiring. Okay, I think do I throw out those little scraps? They're quite interesting. Maybe I'll keep them for now. I'll decide when I'm packing everything up. I'll decide whether I keep them or probably just chuck them in my collage phone book. Right, so we made 3. I'm happy with that. Got another base here, and then I've got my thinner one that's just over 2 inches. So 3 out of 5. That's not too bad. Okay, let's have a wee closer look up, and you can embellish them even further. You could add little butterflies or flowers or something, just whatever takes your fancy. I think I would leave them until I pop them in a journal, and maybe then use a focal image out of a kit, or add lace or whatever, you know, whatever the case dictates. Okay, so pretty happy with those. They're really fun. I really need to play with these when I'm not on camera, so I can just kind of fiddle around and dawdle without the pressure of being on camera. But thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this project too. I hope you give it a go, because it's a great way of using scraps as well. Okay, have a great day. Take care. I will be back again tomorrow with another video. I'll see you then. Bye for now.